Johnson because he reminds me of summer, and I am so excited about summer. Tomorrow is actually our last day of school. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you bucket list ideas that are fun to do with your kids. So we're going to listen to Jack Johnson just for a minute while everyone starts to sign in. So say hello, say where you're tuning in from, and tell me what your favorite Jack Johnson song is. I actually was outside at a Scout pack meeting tonight, and we had kids in a canoe, and it rained. And it was really windy, and we were thinking the weather was going to be great, and it was crazy, like crazy, crazy rain, but we got through it. So that's why we're listening to this song, because it's just rain. It's fine, and summer is happening. Some of you may already be in summer, which if you are, that's awesome. I want to hear about your awesome summer plans. And for some of us, it is just starting after tomorrow, which is for me. So we're excited. So we're going to be making slime, which is all the rage right now. I don't know if you guys have made slime with your kids recently, but we have some fun slime that we're going to be sharing with you how to make it. We have links to the post both for the 50 ideas as well as making your own slime. So you have those links there that you can get all of those ideas that you want as well. So I would love it if you guys tuned in. Tell me where you're watching from. I feel like the camera's kind of far away, so I have to see what's going on. So we're just going to talk about summer. Wake up slow. Wake up slow. All right. Very, very nice. Thank you for coming tonight. I am wiped out, you guys. This week is just killing me. My daughter graduated from kindergarten today, which was so much fun, but it was exhausting, and it was my baby's first birthday today as well, and we have end-of-year performances. I still have to make a car out of a cardboard box for a drive-in movie for the last day of school. I don't know why teachers do that to us sometimes, where it's the last day of school. We're just supposed to be hanging out, right? Not making huge projects, but I don't know. I've spray painted it pink at this point, but I still need to make it look like a car, which might just be like paper plates and tinfoil. I don't even know at this point. Hey Deborah, thanks for tuning in. I'm so excited to have you guys here tonight. Please tell me where you're watching from. And we're going to talk about bucket lists. So every year I sit down with my kids and we make a bucket list together. So my number one tip with this is that all of the kids will give us an idea of their wish list. What is on your wish list for your bucket list? What is your must do for the summer? If we start with the must do items first, then we kind of fill in the we wish we could. But at least one thing from everyone's must do list we try our very best to do, because I feel like the very best summers are those that you're excited about, and each kid is excited about. And if you have friends or you think people might want to contribute with some bucket list ideas, share this to your wall. I would love that. And also like the page, because then you can look back at it later if you want to see it throughout the summer and come up with some more ideas, or it's just nice to share because then other people can join us and have fun too. So we all sit down together as a family and we'll get out a paper and a pen, and I actually have a dry erase board that I got from the dollar store. I forgot to bring it. Maybe my husband will grab it for me, because he's amazing. I couldn't do any of this without him. He is such an amazing support. Am I sucking up enough, honey? He helps me a lot. So I found this dry erase board from the dollar store, which I was really excited about. You could actually use it for chores if you wanted to, or anything, but for tonight I thought we would do it for our bucket list. So we could write down the list of ideas of what we wanted to do, and then we can check it off as we go through, or even schedule it out. And that's actually my second tip, is with summer bucket lists, is I hate being overscheduled during the summer, but summer flies by so fast that if you don't take those must-do bucket list items and pencil them out throughout the summer, it's not going to happen. At least in my house, that's the way it is. Thank you. So, okay, I I just found this yesterday and I was so excited because you can actually, it's an educational chart. So I found this at the dollar store, but look how cute it is from the dollar store. And it has where you can, you know, write ideas and then checklists here. This could also be like if you want to go swimming so many times during the summer, or something that you think is really fun and you want to do it again and again, you can write that on the list, and then you can also, you know, erase it and use this again. So I don't know if your dollar store might have something like this, but this is just a fun, easy way to display your bucket list ideas, and you can do that as a family and use it for later if you want to. So I thought that was a really cool dollar store item. I love the dollar store, and can I tell you, I was on the phone with Shane, who I do my cooking show with on Tuesdays, and I said, oh yeah, I'm at the dollar store. We happen to be talking on the phone, and he's like, oh, I love the dollar store. I always set a $5 limit when I go in, and I'm like, oh, well, I have my cart and this and that. And he's like, you have a cart? Why do you have a cart? I'm like, duh, because I buy a lot of things at the dollar store. I should probably do another live on that because there are so many things that I found that are super awesome at the dollar store. Anyway, I ended up spending $75 at the dollar store. Yeah, $75. He couldn't even believe that was possible, but it is very possible, which gift wrap and bags and a lot of things that you have to buy other places. I even bought cards for Father's Day. Anyway, that's another day. But okay, so we sit down all together, we pencil out what it is that we want to do. And for those of you who are watching right now, I want to know what your must-do summer bucket list items are, because I feel like a lot of times you can learn fun ideas from other people and maybe incorporate those into your life and what works for you. And I would love to hear what yours are. For me and my family, we love to go boating. And I grew up boating with my family. We didn't have a lot of money for travel when I was growing up, but we did have a boat. So we spent a lot of time on our boat, and we got to be so close as a family from watching each other act like fools, like on an e-board, or learning to ski, and just spending time out on a boat with our family. So I don't own a boat now, but my parents still do. So you better believe it. I am on the phone with them and with my siblings, and we say, okay, what days are our boating days, so we can schedule those out ahead of time, just so we're coordinating with our schedules. And they actually all gave me their blackout dates, so I could go through our schedules and pick dates that would work for all of us. And I think that tends to work a little bit easier if one person gets all of the dates from the extended family, and then you can kind of fill in the holes with ideas of things you want to do together. So my siblings and I love to get our kids together as cousins. So we have special dates that we've set aside for, like roasting marshmallows or having a roast, like a hot dog and s'mores roast. And then we also have days that are cousin sleepovers where we have like a cousin big sleepover. We do a big breakfast the next day. Then that night is spent telling stories and just having fun and letting the kids stay up late and eat junk because it's summer. And then we also have our boating and hiking days. So those are things that we do as a big family with my extended family and cousins. We have all of our siblings, our kids are very close in age, so we are lucky that we can do that. So if that's something, especially if you want to get together with extended family, try your best right now, if you want to be the coordinator of the family, to have everyone send you blackout dates, and then you can go through your calendar. And then what I did is just sent out like a Google invite to everyone and said, okay, this is the date that's blocked out to go to the cabin. This is the date that's blocked out for us to go skiing. This is the date for us to go have our roast or whatever it is. And then if there's any issues that come along the line, we can adjust for that. But at least that way everyone gets it in their calendar, and it is much more likely to happen. Because I don't know about you, but the summer always flies by for me, and I'm always left standing there going, oh my gosh, where did the summer go? So no one has said their bucket list ideas yet. I want to hear them. So one that is always on the list for me is snow cones. I don't know what it is about summer and snow cones, but they are my favorite thing to always have on the bucket list. So that is a must for me. For my son this year, he wants to go rock hunting, but what we do for him is, because he likes to find very specific rocks, he has a rock book where he looks up and finds where those rocks can be found. And then we've actually put together a few small road trips for us to do as a family to find those rocks that he wants to find. So for example, in southern Utah, there is a place that's called Crystal Mountain or Crystal Rock Mountain. If anyone from Utah is watching and you know what I'm talking about, it's actually a place where they have this gorgeous white crystal, and you can take chunks of it home. They don't care. You can take as much as you want to. It's very kid friendly, and that is something that's on our bucket list this year because my son loves rocks. So my daughter, she loves horses, so one of the things on her bucket list is to go ride on a horse. So we're going to make that happen for her. And my third son, he's 3, and he loves to go on hikes, to be out in nature and just play with sticks. So we're going to make sure that we get some hiking / lakeside days for him because that's really his favorite thing. Hi Francia, how are you? Thanks for checking in. I want to hear about your favorite bucket list. So I've put together 50 ideas, and some of the things that I've put on here are very obvious traditional things, but I also wanted to put ones on there that you maybe haven't heard about. And then when we get to the end, I'm going to show you how to make this slime that is so fun. And you can find the link to both the 50 ideas and the slime on the blog. So if you want to pin this to your wall, you can have it forever to be in your timeline to have for later, or you can actually link to that and learn how to do that as well. So we're going to go through these 50, and as I'm going through, feel free to comment in, and then at the end we're going to be making this slime. And it's actually a glitter slime, and what's really awesome about it is it doesn't get on your hands. And I'll show you the trick how that works, because I don't know if you've ever tried to make your own glitter slime, but it can be kind of a mess. So this is a way that is not nearly as messy. It's still slime, so you're dealing with that, but it's not that at all. So, okay, my number 1 on my list is have a tent night in your own backyard. So all of these summer list ideas that I put together are ideas that I hope would work for any budget. I know that all of these things wouldn't work for everyone, but there are so many fun things that you can do at home with your kids that don't cost a lot of money, and having a tent night is one of them. Pitch a tent in your own backyard and make it a special night together as a family. Whether you sleep in the tent or not is up to you, because depending on the age of your kids, that can be awesome or that can be not awesome. And typically with tent sleeping, it's not as awesome, but I think it's still a lot of fun. We like to go out with our kids and tell special stories and let them bring their special blankets and have a good time together. And it always creates great memories. Another one is just to have a pajama day, to stay in your pajamas all day long and do fun pajama things. So you could do a breakfast for lunch, breakfast and dinner if you wanted to, and just kind of make it a lazy day. You could watch shows that have to do with being in your pajamas or reading books about it, just have the theme of just having lazy day, or you can just lay around and do nothing because it's lazy pajama day. And honestly, I have days like that aren't even on purpose because we're just tired. And it's fine. It's fine. You can just call it that on purpose. So another one of our favorite free activities is to go to splash pads. I don't know how many of you have splash pads around you, but they are such an easy, kid-friendly place to go with a family. And my favorite tip for going to a splash pad, of course, is to wear sunscreen. But I always will bring a loaf of bread, peanut butter, and honey, and I'll put the sandwiches together while we're there. I don't stress too much about preparing ahead of time. There are things that I like to have planned out for my summer, but I also like to be able to be spontaneous. And this is one of those activities that you can easily do that. But bring snacks and bring sandwiches, because when your kids are running around, they're always hungry, and chances are they're going to go sit in a neighbor's lap or a stranger's lap and ask them for their food if you don't have any. So always bring snacks, because I've been there where I'm like, oh, sorry, we don't have Capri Suns or anything, and then they're hungry and whiny, and no one likes that. So pack snacks and just bring the stuff with you. If you just want to run out the door, grab a loaf of bread, peanut butter, honey, chips, gone. Get your Capri Suns. So that's a really fun thing to do. If you are in southern Utah, there are actual water display areas for kids that you can go, and they have splash pad areas, but then they also have red rock areas that are kind of like stream beds, but they're all very clean, and the kids can play in those. I have a favorite park down in Salt Lake City that actually has an outdoor water area as well that the kids can play in. And if you are going to a place that has a water feature like that where there's a stream, a good idea is to bring little floaties or rubber duckies that the kids can put at one end and then play with, that they chase all the way to the bottom. And that makes for a lot of fun, and it's an easy toy to just have in the car and have fun with. So that's a really fun idea too. So this idea is to have a no electricity day. So my kids love their iPads and games and all of that. This is about no electricity from morning until night. So you have to really think about ways that you can be creative and have fun together and play like we did as kids, right? Send them outside, which I encourage all of the time. But you can actually make this really fun. You could pull out candles, or if you want to be a little bit less worried, you can pull out flashlights and go underneath blankets and tell stories or play games and just make it really fun about not using electricity. And you could talk about energy saving and how that helps our planet, depending on how much you want to get into that topic. But kids would love to have a day like that, to just focus on doing things the old-fashioned way, I guess. So another idea is to turn your home into a restaurant. So this one is really fun. I like to put my kids in charge of this when I do it, because they are in charge of the food, and they have to come up with a menu, things that they can cook, and the utensils that they want to use, and it could be something creative, and they are in charge of putting together a restaurant. This is really fun for older kids to do, for younger kids, or for you as parents, or you could even invite over some friends and have it all set up for when they come. And it just makes for a fun, easy day that they can prep and maybe practice cooking in the kitchen with you, a special new meal that they can share with their friends later. So another one that I love is to play night games. This is super traditional for families. I don't know if you grew up playing Kick the Can, but this is something that you could do, or Ghost in the Graveyard, or different things like that. I'm sure if you typed in night games, you could find a whole bunch of different ideas if you didn't have ones from your childhood that you would want to share. Okay, another idea is to park hop. So if you are new to an area, or if you've been in an area forever, you can go through the parks that are in your city and park hop and go to the cities that are near you or in your city, or ones that you love. I find that different parks that I go to have a lot of different options, and sometimes we'll find ones that we didn't know existed, but in the summer you can go a little bit further away and find things that have water features, or like we have one near us that there's a big pirate ship that we didn't know about, but it was in a city over, but it's worth the drive. And if you want to and you have young kids, you can schedule that out if you want to just have a park day or a themed day that you go find a new park. So that's a fun one. Playing with bubbles is always fun. If you want to, you can make wands out of pipe cleaner or out of hangers and make big bubbles. That's a lot of fun. If you go to Pinterest, you can find quite a few. One of my favorite ideas is to paint crazy. So what I mean by this is to paint in a way that you don't care how dirty they get. When I was a kid, I remember I was in Joy School, and the mother, bless her brave soul, had put saran wrap all on her kitchen floor, and then she had shaving cream that she had colored or something. It's like a vague memory. I was about 3 or 4, but she let us paint on her floor with paints, and it seemed like it was fluffy, so I think it was shaving cream, and it was just this nutty, crazy time. You could absolutely take this outside and let the kids just have a great time painting with their feet and with their hands, and however you want to do that. You can do that even on the grass if you wanted to, so it's not getting a mess on the floor. Another idea that you can do is to volunteer at a local animal shelter. So what I love about this is that kids and animals go so well together, and I feel like this is a great way for your children to develop compassion and to think beyond themselves. There are ways that you can help with either cleaning up or to give the animals lots of love, and this is just a fun way for you as a family to serve in your local animal shelter. So another fun idea that I love is that you can grow a kit. There is a kit on Amazon. I should link to it. I'll link to it. But where you can grow your own butterflies. So you can actually grow a kit or buy a kit where you grow a butterfly in your home, and then when it comes to maturity, you can release it. And I just think that that is such a wonderful opportunity for your kids to look at that miracle of the caterpillar turning into the butterfly. Another fun idea that you can do is get an ant farm where you can watch it build its own ant farm and talk about nature. You could create your own if you wanted to and you were really ambitious, but the ant farms that you can buy are really thin and easy to set up. And what's funny is if you do buy ant farms that way, a lot of times they'll come refrigerated. So they'll wake up when you open the box, and some of them will be dead. So just warn your children that that will be the case, but then they'll come back to life as you set up the packaging and everything, which is really fun. Okay, so this is a fun idea. It's called dollar store gifting. So on one day I will have my kids, or over a course of time, they'll earn money from doing chores around the house, which I'm thinking about sharing some home management things soon. I'll talk to you about that, and probably in a couple episodes down the line. I have some lined up. But what I'll do is I'll have my kids do jobs around the house, and they're earning money for their dollar store gifting. And what that is they get to earn money to gift presents to their siblings. So we will make it so that each of them have $1 to spend on their sibling, and then we will go to the store, to the dollar store. Hi, Roger. We'll go to the dollar store and we will say, okay, go. And then they have to think about what they think their sibling would like. So they're thinking outside themselves, what would be the very best way that you could spend this $1 for your sibling? And then they get a chance to wrap it up and then gift it to each other. And it's a lot of fun for the summer because I feel like it's a great way for them to serve each other and hopefully reduce some of the fighting that goes on in the summer. Because it can get hard being together all day, every day sometimes, right? I hope I'm not the only one alone on that. Hi, Whitney. Thanks for joining. Okay, so another service-oriented activity that I love is trail cleanup, or to clean up one of your favorite places to go as a family. That could be a park or a trail or anything like that, but we just do a trash cleanup day. It's fun to do that around Earth Day if you want to incorporate that or to plant something together, and that's a really fun tradition. Another idea, and I talked about this a little bit, but to recreate one of your favorite summer memories. So I find that my kids love it more than anything when I sit down with them. Hey, Christine. And I will talk to them about a summer memory that I had or memories that I have from my childhood, and then take them to that place or try to recreate that moment with them. And I feel like our kids love that so much, where they can be in the same place that I was as a kid, or to think about how things were when I was younger. And so that would, of course, look different for everyone. But I think that that makes it especially fun for you and your kids to connect on a deeper level. So I talked about this one already, but Slurpees or snow cones, which on 7-Eleven, that is free Slurpee Day. So just mark that down now. You want to go earlier because they will run out of the Slurpees sometimes. And they're kind of smaller cups, but it's still fun. I find that if you go before noon, that's typically best before like the teenagers start coming around and stuff. So plan your Slurpee Day the same day you go to service, and that's a really fun way to do that together. Okay, so of course swimming and boating we talked about. Another idea I have is ice blocking. So this is kind of an old-fashioned thing to do, but you can actually get blocks of ice from your local grocery store and slide on them down a hill. I don't know how many of you have done that, but it's something that I did as a kid, and it is super fun. It is a little messy, so you're going to want to make sure that your kids are wearing clothes that they can get messy in, but it's kind of a spin on sledding. Like, you just get an ice block and you slide on it. There's really not much nothing else to it other than that, but it's really fun. If you've gone ice blocking, I want to see those legs because it is kind of a unique thing. Okay, so summer movies membership. I don't know how many of you have movie theaters around you that do the kids summer movie memberships where you can go to a movie for like $1. Typically they do the show times weekdays at around 10 a.m. and the shows are $1 a person. Now, these are not brand new release movies, but they are typically movies that have been released in the past year or maybe a little bit before that. And it is so much fun because they have discounted treats like popcorn and soda, and you don't have to worry about your kids being insane because it's a theater full of kids. So you can just go and have a good time. I'm going to do it this summer. Heaven help me, I'll be going with 4 kids by myself. But I think my kids are at pretty good ages. I think we can handle it. And then you can go through and just see which ones you want to go to and which ones you don't. But check your local movie theaters because we actually have 2 different ones near us that both do it. So you can look at what they're showing and pick one over the other, which one you think would be best for your family. So I'm going to run through a few more of these. So study astronomy and do some stargazing. Do an outdoor movie where you set up a projector. You can project it onto a sheet or onto a garage or something like that. A lemonade stand, of course. Go geocaching. I love geocaching with my kids because it gets us out in nature, and it's also a fun way to feel like a treasure hunt. You want to make sure that you bring a little something. Each kid has a little something to put into the geocaching box so that when you go, you leave something and you take something. And kids love that. That's like true treasure hunting for kids. So geocaching is one of our favorites. Walking dog service. Now this one can be for pay or for service. That's up to you and the age of your kids. But it's a fun way to get out and either serve just to be nice, or you could set up a little dog walking service to make a little money. I don't know. That's up to you. Go paddle boarding. Library days. Check your local library. I have been so impressed with our local library. They plan something every single week, and they are awesome. Like one time we went, and the subject was on rocks, and each of the kids got to come home with a carton full of rocks with the different categories, all labeled, and all of these rocks that they got to take home for free. And libraries put so much time and effort into their kid activities through the summer, and they're awesome. So not only getting your books, but see what activities they offer because there are so many fun ideas for kids. So another one, of course, is library days, parades to go hunting for rocks, have a food fight. Your kids will love this. If you schedule a food fight, like it's going to happen. Or I guess you could do it as a surprise and just shock them. But a really fun one to do it with is just pudding. Make your own pudding and have it sitting on the table and have a food fight with your kids. And it is so much fun. Of course, do it outside because no one wants to worry about that mess. But it's a really fun way to just let loose with your kids and have fun. Okay, so making slime, which we're going to be doing here in a minute. Sleep on the trampoline. We always did that as kids. We love doing that. Tie-dye shirts. Make up your own play. So this is really fun. If your kids are to the age where they can start having creative imaginations and coming up with storylines, it's a great idea to have a play. And you can invite people to be a part of the play or come over and see the play. And it's just a fun way for kids to have fun and put together something. Another fun idea is to build forts with blankets. We always did this as kids. But another fun thing, if you are building the forts, is you can have the no electricity day, or you can do a movie marathon day and watch your movies from inside your forts. So that's a fun way to twist it up if you want to. Another fun thing is to look for local tours. So one idea that we have is a chocolate factory. So we have a chocolate factory that's in Salt Lake City, and you can come and tour the chocolate factory for $1. So there are so many fun things that are close to you that you just may need to dig a little bit deeper to find things that you may not have paid attention to, which takes me into this next series of fun things that I love to do, which is visiting local museums and also taking a local bus tour of your closest city. I feel like so often people come to visit where we live to take like city tours, and yet we never do that for where we live because we just think, oh, why would we do that? But so often you learn awesome things about where you live, or historical things, or things that you may have not even known were a part of your city. So that's a really fun thing to do. So one other thing that we love to do is to bake and take cookies to our local fire department or police station. I always try to do a service activity once a month at least. So whether that's the trash cleanup or taking cookies to to firefighters or policemen. And it's just a fun way to say thank you. And a lot of times they'll give your kids a tour. They'll say, oh, come on in, and you get to take a look around. And it's just super fun. And I feel really strongly about supporting our law enforcement and helping them out. So another fun idea is to learn to shoot a bow and arrow, go golfing, do frisbee golf, visit a pet store. Pet stores are so easy and fun to go visit. Rent an old movie and have a parent or grandparent watch it with you. So a really fun way to connect generations, like your children with their grandparents, is to have them share one of their favorite movies from when they were growing up, or maybe even a favorite movie that they love from the past 20 years, and watch it together. Because it's a really fun way for them to have a bond that they may not have had otherwise. So it's a fun way to do that. Make your own popsicles. We have a few recipes on the blog that you might like for making your own popsicles, and you can just buy the forms right from Amazon, and that's a lot of fun. Make noodle boats and float them down a stream. Okay, so I don't have my noodle. I was going to bring it with me. But you can take pool noodles, and my son came up with this himself last year when I had just had a newborn, and I was like, what are you doing out here? And what he had done was he had taken one of those long pool noodles that you can just get from the dollar store, and he had cut them up into different shapes and then made sails out of paper and toothpicks. It was like the cutest thing. And he was sailing them. He had made like little riverbeds in our grass, and also with a little kiddie pool, and they were playing with these little noodle boats, and it was just the cutest thing. So I took pictures of it, but I haven't put it up on the blog yet. So now I am done with my list. So if you have any ideas, go through, and I would love to hear them. And I'm going to be making this slime. So I'm going to tilt the camera a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. But if you have any questions, I would love to hear. And I'm going to tilt you a little bit down so you can see this. Maybe. Hold on here. Okay, does that work? Can you see it? Give me some likes. I think that's going to work. Okay, so this is the glitter slime. I don't know how well you can see that in the camera, but this is a pink glitter slime. So we're actually going to be making a green one. But this glitter slime is so much fun and so easy to make. Your kids will love it. So the trick about making this glitter slime without making a humongous mess is to buy glitter glue that already has the glitter in it. So this is just made by Elmer's. And so slime is like all the rage right now. I don't know what's going on, but people are like going crazy about it. So you may need to order this on Amazon because we had a hard time finding it in store. It was sold out everywhere. So you're going to go ahead and dump that entire bottle into the bowl. And I need my, hopefully I can remember all the steps. They're on the blog, so maybe someone should just tell me. It's pretty easy. There's only a couple of things that you need. So you're going to need this glitter glue. This is a contact solution. You can just buy the generic. It doesn't matter what brand it is or anything. And then you're going to need shaving cream. Do not buy the gel kind. You want to get the kind that turns into white foam. So just the very generic, basic shaving cream. Sorry, this glue is still coming out, so we're working on it. And then you will also need borax. That's just this white powdery solution. You can find this just in the cleaning section, typically by laundry detergent. It's something that you can use to make your own cleaning supplies. Okay, so this glue is almost done. And my husband just joined, so maybe he should give me the tips as I go. Come on, Paul, tell me all the things. Okay, so after you're done with that entire bottle of glue, it's almost there, you're going to be adding a cup of shaving cream. So I'm just going to eyeball it. I measured it the first time I did it, but this time we're just going to go for the eyeball. So just the white. That looks good. Okay, next up we're going to be adding 6 drops of the multi-purpose contact solution. Oh, he says you're doing great. You're saying that until I mess up. So just 6 drops. Oh, that was about it. That happened really fast. Okay. Now the borax is where it gets a little trickier. So you're going to add a teaspoon of the borax to water. So there, I have a cup of warm water here. And you're going to go ahead and stir that until it completely dissolves. So I'm going to stir this for a minute. So we are making fluffy glitter slime for those of you who have just joined us. I've also shared 50 fun bucket list ideas for kids. So if you missed the first part, go ahead and share this to your timeline and you can go back and see what those ideas are. Love that your husband is here. Great support. He is great support. He got this all set up for me. I was at that scout meeting, and so he got this all set up. He's the best. And our kids did not want to go to bed tonight. Make sure and stir the glue and cream first. Yep. I will stir. Okay, so that's dissolving. And then I'm going to be mixing up this here. So this is the shaving cream, the glue, and the contact solution. So our kids made this the other day. They made this pink one, and they had so much fun. You should have seen the look on my son's face. He looked like a mad scientist. It was pretty funny. So if you are making slime without glitter glue and it isn't colored, you can go ahead and add food coloring to it and make it any color that you want. So this just happens to be green because that was the color of the glue. But you can make it any color you want. Looks like there's still some here at the bottom of the... I don't know if I should worry about that or not. I'll just keep stirring. So this glitter glue, you can't tell it's as glittery when you are mixing it, but once it sits for a minute and it's been in a container or you're just not mixing it, then you can tell that it's glittery. Because when we were first mixing this pink one, I thought, that doesn't even look glittery, but now that it's been sitting here for a while, it really does. Does it matter what kind of contact solution? No, it does not matter. You can use anything. So just buy the cheapest. Okay, so that is pretty well mixed. So in this solution right now, I have the shaving cream. For those of you who just joined, there's a cup of shaving cream, not the gel kind. You want to get the white foam. The contact solution. It says 2 to 6 drops, but I like to do a little bit more. And then you have the borax that has been in the cup of water here. So that's been dissolving. So now is the time that I'm going to take this water that has the borax in it, and I'm going to be adding spoonfuls at a time and then stirring it in. So, oh, can you see my dog? I didn't even notice that he was there. He is always hanging out with me, and sometimes I don't even notice. That's Poppy. Hey, Poppy. Poppy. Hey, buddy. You sleeping? You're okay. I didn't even notice he was in the shot. That's so funny. Hi, bud. He's like, what do you have for me to eat? Usually when I do that, it's like I'm feeding him something that the kids dropped. Okay. So I'm going to add this first spoonful in and then stir it. This is where you have to be careful about the consistency, because if you add too much or too little, it won't be sticky. or it won't be sticky, it'll be too sticky. So you just have to kind of eyeball it as you go. And after putting in that first scoop, you'll notice that it starts to get stickier, but we want to get to the point where it's not sticking to the sides anymore. So one scoop is not going to do it. We'll definitely be adding more. And eventually you have to go from using the spoon to using your hands. Is he a puggle? Yes, he is. He is. It's his birthday tomorrow. He's turning 11. So I've had him for a long time. So here's another scoop of the water borax solution. See, it's starting to get a little less sticky. Are you helping me? I can figure out how to tilt it. Oh, ta-da! Thank you, husband. Oh, you have 2 puggles. That's so cool. I love him. He helps me all the time. Hey, husband, how's this looking? Add another one?
Keep going, yeah.
I'm just guessing. Okay, here comes another spoonful. I think we'll be doing maybe one more after this. But if you can tell, now that it's actually angled better, it's starting to not stick. I'm going to have to go to my hands here in a quick minute, because it's getting harder to stir. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get in there. I think I'm going to add, well, you know what? I'm going to wait and see what the consistency feels like, and then decide whether or not I want to add another scoop. Okay, yeah, it's still pretty sticky. So I'm going to add another scoop of the borax solution. So for those of you who are just joining us, we are making our own glittery, fluffy slime. This is easily made with stuff that you have probably in your home already. You can use regular Elmer's glue. I just went ahead and used glitter glue because we're trying to make glitter slime. So right now this is feeling pretty spongy, which that's what makes it fluffy, but I'm trying to decide. I might want to add one more scoop, or maybe that might be good. I'm trying to decide what I think. So this is one we made earlier that's actually a pink slime. It's been sitting here for a little bit, but you can see how it glitters. This one's all glittery. This one, you can't tell it's glittery, but it's because we're mixing it now. So this is a more spongy consistency, but it is so fun to play with. It's not as stretchy, but it's easier to form, so that if your kids were wanting to form it into different shapes, they could do that. Okay, perfect. So that is what your glitter slime looks like. You can see that up close. And if you want to follow the directions, you can find those on the blog. It's linked right there. And you can decide how much of a consistency you want. But that is pretty much it. And it is super fun to shape and play with. And it's not messy at all. You can see my hands are pretty clean. So the kids have a lot of fun with that, and you can make your own. So that's a super easy, simple slime. And that, oh my gosh. And that is all I have for tonight. So where can I get the white powder? Okay, so that is, it's called borax, and it's found in the grocery store. I have a box of it in my kitchen, but I didn't pull it out here. It's typically in a big green box, and it just says borax on it, and you can find it in the cleaning section in the grocery store. Usually any grocery store has them. I think I picked mine up from Walmart. So, and for those of you who are just tuning in, I shared 50 summer bucket list ideas for kids. So next week, for those who are going to be tuning in with me, I'm going to be talking about home management for your house. I'm going to be talking about ways to get chores done and also to have safety in your home, talking about the nucleus for your home monitoring system. You're welcome, Angie. And then the next week out of that, is it almost out? You can also order it online. So here's the thing. If you want all of those ingredients that I just showed you, follow the link that I just shared with you, and you can get them all from Amazon if you are Amazon shoppers like I am. So you can go ahead and all of those things are lined up for what you will need. And then the week after that, I'm going to be sharing cleaning hacks to help save you time. So thank you for tuning in. I will see you next week, and I hope you have a wonderful summer.